Holy smoly. You know I had to go live at the channel too when it comes about on. Are you kidding me? But I had to go live because I couldn't listen to channel two's craziness anymore. And of course I already got blocked. I mean somebody's gotta time me out, like heaven forbid that, I might say something, like that might make sense, like you pick all your big leaves off, but you leave all your yellow leaves. Like it don't make sense. And why do you get quality and quantity? Why do you get both? Because you grow a healthy plant and it stays healthy all the way through, grows fucking, and you get the quality because it gives you the best fucking expression of what the plant can do because it was healthy all the way along. So you get quality and then you get the quantity because it was so healthy that it just blew up and grows, like that's just what a plant does. I mean, some people just got excuses for everything. Like, really, like, oh, I did this. Oh, I did that. Oh, I did this. Oh, I did that. Did that. Did that. Did that. But it's never really their fault. It's always the light, or it's the heat, or it's I don't water enough, or I don't do this, or this doesn't happen, or that doesn't. Like, dude, I get over a pound with small plants. So you trying to say, oh, I can't get. You expect me to get pounds? I'm only flipping small plants. Yeah, it's very possible that you can do that. No problem. Those plants that you put in your fucking tent should have filled the whole tent and fucking you should have got over a pound. No problem. The problem is you plant killers. That's the problem. The common denominator. Stop Googling shit and going to fucked up forums when you have some of the best growers right at your fingertips, but all you want to do is argue with them. So you go to Google to search for the answer that you're looking for, whether it's the right answer or not. You're only interested in finding the answer that you want to find, whether it's right or not. You don't want to listen to people that are doing this over and over and over and aren't having problems. I don't care if you're in organic or you're in synthetic. I don't care. Synthetics easier because you can feed the plant right now. Organics has to break down. So if you're not a good grower and you don't time it right and shit, the plant ain't already healthy and shit ain't gonna go right because it's not gonna break down right. It's not gonna, it's not gonna fucking be available to the plant when you need it to. I mean, that's why organics is great outside because you make a really big bed outside, it's all organics mixed up, fucking, and you let it do its thing. When I do an outdoor garden bed, I'll tell you right now, I start amending it in the fall. You amend it and you do the shit in the fall time. That way it can sit, rest, fucking work, do its shit all winter long. And then come springtime, that shit should be fucking just ready to go. But thinking, oh, I'm gonna go plant some plants in a month, and you think you're just gonna go throw a bunch of shit in the soil and mix it up and it'll be ready to go by then? Maybe, maybe not. You know, I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to use synthetics, but if you constantly have problems with organics and constantly blame everything else and not take blame for yourself, then you're the problem. You're the problem. I don't. Wobbs, sled, dunk, wobbs, cakes. What's up, fellas? I wanted to talk about plants, and I can't over channel two because the fucker always blocks me because I don't give him the answers he wants to give. I mean, I asked him where the big leaves are. He says, I pull them all off. And I'm like, oh, well, why do you pull the big leaves off, but you leave the yellow leaves on? Like, didn't make a lot of sense to me. Bam, I get timed out. Like, I think it's great. I mean, I just don't understand that. I don't. I mean, his plants are all yellow outside too. He's gonna blame whatever on that too. Like, you got plants in the ground and they're still yellowing out. That means you got really shitty ground and there's nothing in the ground for them to absorb. Or like I seen you watering last night and all that water, it just sits on top of the ground. And you're like, oh, look, it comes clear over here. Splish, splash, splish, splash. You don't have very good drainage. That ground doesn't have very good drainage either because that should be just soaking up and draining through. But it's not. It's sitting on the top of your soil. So outside, you got issues also. But you're going to blame it on whatever. Like, ooh. Like, my tent runs about 90 to 91 degrees at about 50% humidity. Why isn't my leaves all burnt up? Because it's not a heat problem. Plants grow outside in over 100-degree temperatures. It's not a heat problem. It's a root problem. It's always a root problem. And it's always a root problem caused by you, me, him, her, them, whoever. You know, it's not the plant's problem. It's you. Yes, it's roots. It's always a root problem. I mean, really the only thing that can go wrong with a plant is the roots get fucked up. I mean, and you can, most people overwater. They want to go in and they water every day. Can you underwater? Absolutely. Will underwater cause similar effects to overwater? Absolutely. Doesn't really matter how you kill the roots. If you kill the roots, it's not going to uptake salts. It's going to show you all kinds of deficiencies. And then your smart ass and everybody else that are plant killers are going to tell you that it needs more food. So now you're going to feed it more food. And then you're going to hit it with water. And then as soon as, we were just talking about this last night, as soon as you hit it with more water, you got so many salts. You can call it salts, you can call it not salts, fucking nutrients in the soil that you literally dehydrate the roots. I know it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, right? Go drink some salt water. Let's see what happens. Well, what do you mean? You still got water. It's still wet. You shouldn't get dehydrated. Yeah, you will. And just because you got long fucking water roots, if I'm not seeing any little hairs coming off, anything off that, it's not uptaking. Those roots, oh my God. Channel 2 could get it. I mean, like, if he just listened a little bit, he could nail it in the next fucking girl. But he's too arrogant and too fucking stupid to listen to people that are doing this over and over and over and ain't having problems. He'd rather have problems so he has something to fucking cry about. I mean, he's an idiot. He's a fucking moron. I mean, what up, Dr. Fogg? You know me. I'm over here talking shit. But it's facts, though. You know, I'm not going to tell you nothing. It's a root problem. It's not a heat problem. Sure, heat could be a problem later on after you're having a problem with the roots. Will it make the problem get worse quicker? Absolutely. But that's not the starting problem. I mean, just like he was trying to make it out like, see, Tone G's having the same problems as me. And it's too hot. He burnt up his leaf. And Tone G's like, no, I just overfed him. I burnt up the roots by overfeeding them. Oh, so it was a root problem. But Channel 2 still ain't going to listen to that. He's going to come up with whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck. You're going to take the temperature of your light. You got that tent that's 90 degrees, 46% humidity. I believe that's what that said. Now take a fucking temperature reading off of your leaves. A green leaf, a healthy leaf. What's the temperature? It's not 90 degrees. So if your tank got 96 degrees, I will bet your leaf temperature was probably only like 87, 88 maybe. And that's not too hot. That's not going to burn the plants up. I honestly think, and I hate to say this, what up, Tony G? What up, brother? I fucking miss hanging out with you. Tony G, the smart motherfucker. I mean, the worst problem you're going to have if you got a really high tank, like the temperatures and shit, you're going to have to water more. And if you're not on top of it and you underwater, you're going to have root problems. I mean, it's just, I've done it. I've had root problems plenty of times. I was the king of root problems. Shit happens, you just move through it and fucking. I mean, I just didn't like the fact that Channel 2 was trying to use Tone G as a reason why. See, he's having the same problem that I have, but trying to use him as a reason to prove that what his problems is what he thinks his problems are, which it's not. I found with GH Tone, it's real easy to burn plants with that shit. Especially if you dry out the roots. If you go too far with a dry back, GH, you can burn your shit up. But I mean, that's how you figure it out. But you don't hear Tone G trying to blame it on everything else. Oh, it was the light. Oh, it was this. You're like, no, I overfed. I mean, like, you can't even argue with the guy. You gotta be like, oh shit, that sucks. And you move on. Because the guy's not trying to argue and come up with all these excuses of, you know, yeah, and you'll figure it out. And that could be strain dependent. You know, some strains like a lot of food, some don't. That's why I like doing the monocrop style in smaller tents, because I could do each smaller tent with the fucking all the same strain. That way I know they're all going to eat the same. They're all, you know, if there's a problem, it's because the plant just had the fucking problem. And you just fucking pull that one out, put another one in its place. But I mean, for him to claim that it's heat stress, it's just. I mean, maybe if you ain't got the right humidity, you got your tank closed up, 96. I mean, but then again, that's you, because you're not controlling the environment for the plant. I mean, if you're in a stuffy room that's really super hot and, you know, like super dry and you know, no water, like, you're gonna have issues too. But I mean, every time I see Channel 2's plants, there's more and more and more fucking yellow, burnt up shit. So I mean, I don't understand it. I don't. If that was me and that's what organic, I mean, if I was a new grower and I was looking at his shit and I knew he was in organics, I'd be like, oh, fuck that. I'm not doing organics. Not if that's what the plants look like. So do I think like that? Or do I think, oh, the guy just don't know how to grow? Well, if you listen to him, he's telling you all these fucking things. And as a new grower, you're going to be like, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. But I still wouldn't use organics. Not if that's what it's going to do to your plants. I just wonder when he'll ever just say, yeah, I fucked him up. Because I'm the one that does all the inputs. The plant doesn't get up one in the morning and walk over to the fucking nutrients and start dumping nutrients in and start dumping water in. No, that's you. You do that. It's always the grower's fault. You control everything. The plant sits in the pot and grows if you let it grow. Cheers, Tuna, Santa Claus, Cap, what up, brother? Zib, Super Bob, Dunk. Missed everybody. I personally, if I was Channel 2, and I know you ain't gonna like to hear this, but I would scale that shit way back. Scale it back to maybe just the tens and dial your shit in. If you really think you need to dial your shit, then dial your shit in. Don't try to have fucking all these fucking plants all in different, under different lights, feeding them different, watering them different, all this fucking shit going on. You're never gonna figure out what your problems are. You need to scale it back, figure out what your problem is, and then move it forward from there. I mean, and again, he gets so mad and says I'm racist because I said people in the hood like fucking crack. Statistics show that large drug use is going to be in the hood, the ghetto, whatever you want to call it. And some people might not know this, but everybody lives in the hood and the ghetto. Like white people, Mexican people, black people. I mean, everybody. So it ain't like a one racial thing. So if majority of the people that live in the hood are hooked on drugs and like smoking crack, but tell you they like your weed, I'm sorry, they like to smoke crack too. I mean, like, that's just statistics. You think they're going to turn away your weed when they smoke crack? I mean, like, and that doesn't mean everybody smokes crack, but I mean, if you walked up to a crackhead and said, "Hey, you want a bud?" They're going to be like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah." I mean, they're going to love your weed. Like, I look at your plants and you blame everything else, blame everybody else. It's always this guy. This guy's fucking asshole. This guy's this. This guy's that. My plants are fucking burnt because of the fucking underwater. They're burnt because of my light. They're burnt because of the heat. They're fucking. It's you. But when I see those problems consistently happen now over years, you're not going to convince me your bud's any good. I mean, you got thrifts, you got fucking. I mean, you're never pulling the best potential out of those strains because you're never growing a healthy plant. I don't care what you say, they're not healthy. With a healthy plant, you're going to pull the full potential, and you're going to pull the yield's going to be based on light, and it's going to be based on what you did to the plant. You know, like if you put a lot of plants in there, you're not going to do a lot of training. You just fill in the space. If you're fucking flowering, keep the plants healthy, you're going to get a full tin of bud and the best quality that it'll put out. If you put one plant in there, decide to veg it out for fucking 6 months just to fill the whole tent, same thing. As long as it's healthy all the way through, you're going to pull the potential in the plant and you're going to get a lot. I mean, but you're never going to recover a plant and get what the potential of that plant should have been if it was healthy all the way through. I bet you don't get as many tomatoes on a tomato plant if it's not very healthy. That's just the way the plant grows. Yeah, exactly. Small plants can't be blah, blah, blah. You want me to show you a small plant? I can show you a small plant, Channel 2. I mean, and I mean, again, he mentions, I'm not growing to try to get pounds. Really? Why are you growing plants outside? Oh, 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 because you're trying to grow a lot of wheat. But you say you don't want to grow a lot of wheat. That makes absolutely no sense. If you can pull a pound in 70, 75 days, how are you going to try to tell me I ain't trying to grow a pound that fast? I'm not trying to grow that much wheat. You what? Wait. So you just got into this to kill plants? I don't understand. Like, who in their right mind says I grow to get less wheat? Only a plant killer says that. The guy that's been growing for 25 years and what, 200 different strands. Do you know there's an I next to the A that makes the A say A? So it's strain, like it's not strand. I mean, like, fuck. I'm not the best at punctuation and grammar and all that, but strain, not strand. Like, fuck. Yeah, I mean, that's my side thing now, Cap, because my one can, I'm like, I get plenty of fucking weed out of the 1 2x4 that gets me by for the next grip. So, I mean, sure, I could use the other 2x4 and double it up, but just as of recently, I'm like, fuck, I got plenty of weed. I'm gonna start making some S1s. I need a new little hobby. I mean, and Cabs helped me out so fucking much with this S1 project thing I'm working on. But I mean, I about shit myself when I made the STS yesterday. I was like, oh my God, there's so much of this. Like, what the fuck? I think I'm gonna fill a super soaker up and start doing drive-bys. Like, come summertime next year, like a STS drive-bys. No, it makes so much for the cost and stuff. I don't know. But I got STS spray. Cav's got STS spray. If anybody's looking for some STS spray. And you won't have to pay near as much as what they charge you like on Amazon and shit. Yeah, I don't know. Growing, I don't. I always try to get the most I can get as quick as I can with the most efficiency. Mm. And I don't care what light it is. I honestly thought about, but I don't want to fuck around, but I almost thought about throwing fucking Blurple in the tent just to show these motherfuckers. It's not the fucking, oh my God. It's not that big of a deal. You can do it with any equipment. Will some equipment get you better results? Absolutely. Absolutely. My opinion, a bar light is going to do you better than a fucking quantum board. I mean, it just is. I told people 3 years ago, they thought I was fucking nuts over at Frosty's channel when I was telling them bar lights are the future. You will see. They were like, no way. Quantum boards are the shit, blah, 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 blah. Just like I'm telling you guys, you remember I said this, rack systems and facilities are the future. Smaller plants, shorter plants with more stacked on top of each other on a rack will be the future. Why? Because if you can take 10,000 square feet and turn it into 30,000 square feet by just growing a little bit smaller plants and putting racks in, you just tripled your fucking yield. Well, what do I know? I'm the guardian of the team. The guardian of the team done nailed that door fucking shut. There ain't nobody getting in. Nobody. That shit's dead. I'm fucking burning that motherfucker to the ground. efficiency too, though. You know, like you want to get the most amount of weight for the fucking amount of money you spend on electricity and stuff. I mean, if you're filling your basement up to grow fucking 1 pound of weed, it's not very efficient. You can use that basement space to make fucking beaded necklaces and fucking make more money. Like, I mean, my plants are already bigger than Channel 2's 2x4 plants that he put in way before mine. Why is that? Oh, because he's using organics? Or oh, because he's using sunshine mix? Or oh, because he's using the quantum board? Or oh, because his tent gets hot? Or oh, because he underwaters? Or oh, is it kind of no, because he doesn't know how to fucking grow a plant. He doesn't want to listen to anybody. You're a fucking idiot, Channel 2. You just and I only say that because you will argue with everybody. You can't look at people's plants and go, oh shit, those plants look way better than mine. I wonder what they're doing. No, you go, oh yeah, but you're not growing in organics. Well, if growing in organics has done nothing but got you shitty plants, then maybe you should stop growing in organics. I don't know what organic mix you use, but I'll bet you not one time is that organic mix, whatever you're fucking mixing together, has ever won a cannabis award. I'll bet you. I would bet you. Whatever bullshit you're buying at Home Depot. I bet you that never once has ever got brought up like, oh, what are you using? You won first place. What are you using? They're not like, oh, some bullshit organics from Home Depot. I guarantee you they don't. But they probably know how to grow a plant too, though. So starts from that's the problem. He's trying to do too much. Like that makes no sense, right? Why would you start so many fucking and be growing so many plants if you're not trying to get weight? And if you're trying to get weight, you can do it with less plants. And I don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense. And if you got, say, you got 7 plants in the tent, and if you really got heat stress on the plant, it would happen to all the plants. I mean, why would you only get 1 or 2 or 3, and the rest are fine? Because it's not a heat thing. It's you burning up your roots. And that could easily be done with organics because you don't know when they're available. That's the thing. You don't know. And if you think, oh, well, shit, I put those in a week ago, nothing, I still need more food, like, shit, I'm going to add a little bit more, and you add a little bit more, now that first batch kicks in, and then 2 weeks goes by, and that next batch kicks in, and now pretty soon you're just fucking cooking the plants with nutrients, not heat. Want to go camping? No, I don't want to go camping. I don't know. I want people to grow good plants. I'd love to be able to help people grow good plants, but most people just want to argue with you because it's not the answer they want to hear. Nobody wants to hear you're a shitty grower. Let's tighten it up. I was the same way. I mean, fuck the grow boss, right? Like, but come on. Whether you like the guy or you don't like the guy, the information to keep a plant alive, the basic of information is there. Whatever you do after the plant's healthy and you learn to keep it healthy, If you decide to fucking scrog it, you decide to sog it, you decide to fucking twist it around your fucking tent, well, whatever you decide to do. As long as the plant's healthy, do whatever the fuck you want to do. But fill your space with healthy plants. I mean, don't get a 4x4 tent if you never intend on filling up a 4x4 tent. I mean, that's a waste of space. I've said this before. You got a 4x4 light in your 4x4 tent, but you don't fill the tent. Is that the right light? No, because you're throwing more light at the floor. You're wasting electricity. You might as well go and just turn on a light somewhere and just leave it on all the time. Well, why not? That's what you do when you're burning up the floor of your tent. Mhm. I mean, and if you're going everything based on plant count, if some people are worried about plant count, then don't get such a big space. I mean, don't get it, you know? I mean, it's definitely it's wasted fucking light hitting the floor. I mean, I just YouTube's just fucking. You know, like we were talking a little bit last night. I get satisfaction in helping people. I get satisfaction when the person comes to me like, "Oh my god, I would have never fucking figured this out. Thank you so much." And it's the stupidest little things. Simplest thing is like fully saturate your pot, walk away, and come back in 4 or 5 days. And when they do that, and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm still feeling a little heavy," especially on that first transplant, they're amazed. Like, "Oh my god, I would." They instantly figure it out. I was way overwatering. Yeah, I know. That's why the first thing I try to teach people is the watering. Nutrients are nutrients. Read the fucking bottle. Read the fucking chart. You know, I don't need to tell you what fucking how to use the nutrients. It's on the fucking bottle. There's fucking feeding schedules out there. I don't, you know, when you buy a light, I'm sure everybody looks at the PPFD fucking scales that they show you. They're usually 24 inch, 20 inch, 18 inch, 12 inch, right? 6 inch, something like that, right? They're telling you how to use the fucking light. One, you're never going to put a plant 6 to 12 inches away from a fucking new seedling or new clone. So you got to assume then the 24 inches is automatically for younger, smaller plants. And you gradually move the fucking light down and you turn it up. That way, by the time you're in flower, because remember, if your light's only 400 watts, you can never go under, you can never go over 200 watts in veg because your plant gets double in size, some of them triple. So you need that extra 200 watts later on in flower. Plus, you got to put the light a lot closer. And if you're running a quantum board, that really changes because a quantum board burns so fucking hot and it doesn't get the spread. You actually have to keep the quantum board up higher, which then affects your PPFD at the canopy. Is it all making sense yet? I mean, most of you guys know all this shit, but I mean, the closer you get your light, the fucking higher you turn the dimmer up, the more food you're gonna have to feed it because it's gonna eat like a motherfucker. A healthy plant, unhealthy plant, you're gonna burn it up. More light, more CO2, all that shit to an unhealthy plant kills it faster. Yeah, crushing some veggies at the end. But peas are moist. I've been watching The Blacklist again. I like that show. And I'm always on channel 2 because god damn it. The guy's just insane and I want to see him fucking do good plants. I want him to finally be like, oh my god, you guys, I'm such a dick. I should have listened. But I don't think he ever will. I don't think he'll come around. I mean, I've seen a lot of outside plants this year. I've never seen any at this point, at this same stage as his, that are so yellowed out. And when he tells me, oh yeah, they're yelling from the bottom and working their way because they're fucking hungry. Like if it's fucking yellowing from the bottom up, you should have fed them motherfuckers. I mean, yeah. Crazy. Healthy outside plants, you can pretty much feed them like almost every day when you water. Like you gotta water them. In the ground, maybe not so much, but I don't know. You gotta have some decent drainage soil though. If you're watering the plants and all you're doing is creating big mud holes and fucking yeah, and all the water staying at the top of the ground, you have shitty drainage. Which means it's probably really compacted soil, which means your roots struggle to try to work its way anywhere in that soil. So it's not able to work its way to find food. Shit like, I mean, like, yeah, you end up having to feed every day. That's just what happens. Yeah, we got rain coming up. And I mean, I could get over the whole fucking, oh, you're fucking lighting up the floor. If you, even if you had 2 nice, healthy plants in the tent, I mean, you know, what would I say? Man, you should fill the space. You know, just like with Diesel. What could I say to him? But that he didn't already know. I wish I could have flipped a week sooner. I mean, that's it. Like, look at this fucking garden. I mean, I almost feel like I'm nitpicking really when I'm talking about legs because legs are gonna happen. I mean, that ends up being one of the last things you figure it out because it's a timing issue. Like shit, you know, flower is it's going to be another week and a half. So now I got to veg another week and a half longer. Week and a half of veg gives you leg. I mean, that just happens. You know, so if I bust your balls about leg, it's usually a good thing. It's usually because you're just about there. You're right on it. You know, unless it's like a fucking 6 foot tall plant that we know light only penetrates max 2 feet. You got 4 foot of leg. I mean, that's just fucking ridiculous. But that's still a timing thing. His legs is just time. I would rather take a plant, and it sucks, but this is why you have multiples, and this is why you always take extras, blah, blah, blah. If I get a plant where I have to veg an extra week, it goes into the recycling program. And I'll end up cutting what clones off and I can and tossing the rest of the plant. I mean, because I grow in small tents, and the last thing I need is a plant that's already fucking 3 foot tall going into flower. That just ain't gonna happen. It's I mean, unless you're able to fucking, if you could put it into flour and somehow drop it all the way down under a net, then yeah, that could probably work. But the problem is really, if you that's your thought and that's your plan, you should have been training it all along, and it never should have got that 3 foot. Just my opinion. Oh god, you guys want me to do cocoa, and I could do cocoa, and I got a reservoir, I got a pump, I got fucking timers, I got everything. I can do automated cocoa, but it's kind of like that thing that I figured out something that works for me, and I should just keep running it. Like because if I did cocoa, honestly, if I did cocoa, I would definitely, I wouldn't do any veg. I would do straight from 24-hour light fucking transplant, in the fucking in the flour. And I'll be honest with you, cocoa's a little more expensive than what I pay for the medium that I use. And so I've looked into it, because then I got to get, I do all I got to use more electricity for a pump and a fucking timer and this and that. And, like, when I could just go in there every 3 days with 5 gallons or 4 gallons of water, go in there every 3 days, fucking couple solo cups to the top of the plants, pour the rest on the table and walk away. I mean, I'm working on getting a plant to the stage. I'm thinking about doing a video because I do with smaller plants in cups. I do plastic cups, clear cups inside of fucking red cups. And I know people laugh about it. I laugh about it. I don't really care. But I can show you what I'm talking about if you don't fully saturate a plant. If you try to water a plant too fast with the clear solo cup, you will clearly see the dry spots. You'll fill the cup, you're like, oh, it's nice and full. You'll lift it up, you'll look at the fucking soil inside that clear cup, and you're like, damn, there's dry spots all over in here. And I got a half a cup of water from runoff. Well, you watered way too fast and you didn't make sure everything was saturated. I mean, like, and you can see it in a clear cup. What up, JB? What up, brother? Yeah, the half-gallon bags. I thought about trying that cab, but I like the point where I'm at now. So in the 1 gallons, I water every 3 days. When it gets down to where I have to do every 2 days, I top off the bags, the grow bags that I grow in. I top them off with soil, and it gives me that extra day back. And it adds a little more fucking medium at the base of the plant because once the fucking buds start putting on, you got to be careful because if you get too dry, they will want to tip over. Yeah, I got gallon bags. Yep. All right, Super Bob, take it easy. Yeah, it costs me, well, it's less now because the original first run in the bags, it costs $1.80 per bag. If you reuse that bag now, that goes way down. So this is crazy. My shit, I have fucking cheapest. The most expensive thing I have in there that I paid for was the drain table. I mean, that was $100. The light was a light that I got that came broken that I fucking fixed. So it didn't cost, that light didn't cost me shit. They didn't want to fucking, they didn't want to pay the shipping to ship it back, so they just sent me another one. I mean, so I took that one and fucking made it fit the 2x4. I don't even care about that. 2x4, 4x4, you know, when you buy your equipment and you fill that tent and you get fucking healthy plants, max fucking yield, you'll pay for all that equipment in the first run. You should. And that doesn't mean you got to go out and sell the weed, but the value in the weed that you have should cover all the equipment, unless you're going way crazy overboard. I mean, and I'll say 2 runs just to give people the benefit of the doubt. Realistically, you can do it in 1, but yeah, because you only pay once. That's the thing. I mean, electricity and shit, you're gonna pay anyway. My electricity bill was $248 for the fucking whole house, and that's central AC. That's fucking the whole house electricity. I got hooked up with Athena, Dr. T, I think it's A ACT or ATC, Red. I mean, those guys, you know, I mean, they hooked it up. So I don't have to fucking pay for nutrients forever. But I mean, some of these guys, if you weren't so fucking dickish, you weren't so arrogant, you could get on the team. You could start fucking stacking up your turkey bags or Grove bags or buckets or you get away from the jars because you gotta have a lot of fucking jars. Unless you can find some really nice gallon jars or 2 gallon, like I think it was Medically Fit that was showing Bud, but he had the shit in like a licorice container, like one of those plastic fucking things you buy single pieces of licorice out of, like and sit on the counter. I mean, sure. I mean, I guess that's what you want to store it in. I mean, the food grade buckets are great. Screw on lids, blah blah blah. But that's the point. You know you're doing good when you got to have food grade buckets. And a lot of people are going to argue, yeah, but just because you got a full bucket of weed doesn't mean the weed's any good. Well, that's a really good argument to say. It's kind of like being a fucking keyboard warrior. Everybody going to kick my ass because you're on the internet. Well, everybody's like, oh, well, let's smoke the quality. You know you're not going to smoke my weed because, one, I don't fuck with people like you, and I don't have people like you around me in real life. So you're never going to smoke my weed. So you know it's the easiest way that you're going to try to say, oh, well, yeah, but the quality of your weed's no good. Get the fuck out of here. Even decent weed gets you high. So get the fuck out of here. We smoked fucking Reggie weed for how long growing up? Like, you still got high. Like, healthy plants produce a lot of good bud. I mean, it might be the terps that you don't like, or it might be not the, shit, smell you don't like, the flavor you don't like, other than that, maybe it doesn't have as many trichomes as you'd like. That could be a strain thing. But you don't know until you're growing healthy plants. Just like in my opinion, you shouldn't try adding extra shit to get extra yield. until you're maximizing the yield you can get now for your space. You know, well, I'm not growing very good. I don't get very good yield, so I'm going to add CO2. That's a waste of money. Once you start filling up your tent or your space and you're maximizing it every time you're getting pulling the same numbers, going, fuck, I wonder how I can get a little bit more. Well, that's going to be one strain. Some are denser, you harder, and then that's when you would start adding a little bit of CO2, or that's when you would add, whatever fucking you think's going to give you a little bit more, you know. But you don't grow shitty plants and then think you're going to throw some CO2 at it and get more shitty. I mean, I guess you could, but realistically, you're just going to, if you're having problems, you're just going to kill your plant faster. And you don't have to believe me. You can go back to my videos 3 years ago and you can start watching some videos and see the progression. And I was the same way. It took me a while to fucking figure it out. I was like, fuck you. I'm fighting back. You're full of shit. You don't grow plants. You don't fucking know nothing. Blah, 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 blah. I was doing that same shit. Just let go. Take a deep breath. And just try to let go and act like you're just learning and take some advice. And you're going to go, fuck. I wasted all this time doing what? Like, oh yeah, I grow bud and I still go to the dispensary to buy weed. Yeah, good. Talk about how great your weed is, but you're always having to go to the dispensary to buy weed. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, my problem is like somebody wants a bag or something. I always give them more. Like just give them a little bit more. I wish somebody would have did that for me back in the day. Yeah. I mean, we would smoke the shittiest weed back in the day. And we're happy about it. So now we can grow our own weed, and you're going to try to tell me that you're not trying to grow the most weed that you can grow. You're trying to grow, and that doesn't make sense. I mean, like saying, "Oh, I only grow quality tomatoes. That's why I don't get that many on a plant." What? If you were the farmer, you'd get fired. Like, get the fuck out of here. No reason why you can't have great fucking tomatoes and a lot of them. Because that's what a plant does. The fucking guy that owns the orchard isn't like, oh no, I only grow quality apples. I don't get a lot of apples because I only grow quality apples. I only grow quality peaches. I don't get very many because I grow quality peaches. Get the fuck out of here. Like, are you serious? My plum tree only produces a couple pounds because they're quality peaches or they're quality plums. Like, get out of here. It's because I was the BS. You know that, Lorex. You seen it. You see it. You see it. I just think it's sad. I could teach you how to do that LED. You don't have to keep a big mother plant around like that. You really don't. You really don't. You can get a plant decent size in a fucking solo cup. And still, I got 2 solo cups. I can pull enough fucking clones off it to fill Carl's little fucking 8 plants. His 8 plants. And he always, I got a bench for 70 days. Yeah. I got 2 cups that pull enough clones to fucking feed his goofy little room. And solo cups. So you don't have to have a big mom. You don't. I mean, you might have to have a little corner space, just a spot in the corner, where you can grow a couple solo cups just to clone off of. But you don't have to have this big old plant. Big old plants just means a bigger plant you end up having to throw away later because you don't want to flower it because it's just going to be nuts. I mean, you have to do an air cloner if you don't want to. I mean, I've been fucking around a lot with, because it's summertime, it was hard to keep the heat temperatures down in the turbo cloner. So I was using fucking root rats. Those things are the shit. I like them because they come moist enough that you don't even have to moisten them. Plug them up, put them in the fucking dome, and walk away. Come back in a fucking 5 days. Make sure they ain't dried out. But normally they don't. Normally they're so moist still out of the bag that you can just put them under the dome, and the dome will still create humidity in there, and it just helps keep them moist. You don't end up with humidity that fucking runs down the side of the humidity dome because that's too much. That's obviously 100% because you got visible water. Usually, if that happens, I'll just crack the vent a little bit. But you can leave those things in the cubes and then just move right on and fucking. I have a little kitchen rolly cart. It's big enough that I can put a clone dome on and keep a couple cups to fucking take clones. Of course, I got way more stuff going on than that, but that space right there alone is enough to keep a fucking clone dome on and a couple fucking solo cups to take fucking more clones if you want to. But the trick is always take more clones than what you need, and then use 1 or 2 of those for your next round. Throw them in cups. Carl calls it a stall mode, whatever. You can call it stall mode. They'll stall, but you'll never use those plants in a flower. I mean, come on. They're going to be so fucking tall and no way. Those are your recycled plants. Those are the plants you pull 3, 4, 5 clones off of each. And then you throw the rest of the plant away. And now, say you only need 8 clones, but you're able to take 10. 8 goes in for the next row. 2 goes into the solo cups for the next round of clones. Simple. Crazy Buds, what's up, brother? It's my good buddy there. Crazy Buds. We learned it a lot together. He was the one that really kept me in check. Him and ADHD, when I was first fucking figuring it out, really kept me on the fucking straight and narrow because it's real easy to fucking watch a certain channel and fucking fall off the rails. Or go read Google. Go read fucking Reddit or whatever these stupid if 90 to 95% of people kill their plants and don't realize they kill their plants, do you think the information they're giving you is good or bad? Because they think it's good. You think it's good. I mean, I don't know why people just don't look at a fucking garden and go, oh shit, those are nice fucking plants, and do that. If I look at your garden and you're telling me you're growing organics and your shit's all burnt up, the last thing I want to do is listen to you or grow organic. I mean, and then you ask questions and then don't like the answers and you end up blocking people. To me, that's goofy. You know, I guess you're gonna just keep asking people the same question until you get the answer you want. You know, keep growing the same way, wondering why you're getting the same results. Like, okay, do that. I'll be right back. Well, in order to do every 35 to 40 days, you're gonna have a couple different spots. Because I mean, you know, flower is at minimum 60 days. So you'll have to have two flowering spots to do that. And you can do that. And you can do it in a small space and still get a lot of weed. I mean, really. People were like, yeah, I don't do that because I don't do plant count. Well, cool. Top your plants once, 18.6 for 2 weeks, and flip the flower. 6 plants, you'll fill a 2x4. Easy. It's just all scalable. I mean, you got to figure it's about 5 to 7 days every time you top your plant. You want to top it 2 times, then you got to go 3 weeks. I mean, like, it's all scale and it's all math. What up, Mike D? What up, brother? Do you have like a little spot, or you could put like a couple cups in a cone dome? All you need is a small spot to do that. If you can do that, then you'll be able to pull more. You know, you'll be able to have clones rooted by the time one of the spots is. It's just depending on what all you're trying to do, though. And, I mean, because you can also like take clones, veg in one space, and then take those, fill up the other space, and then veg or clone and veg in that space again, and then just flip those in that space. But that's it. You'll be done if you don't have another space to keep shit to be able to clone. That's why I have just a little corner area in the room that I got a shelf and a little fucking kitchen cart. I don't keep a big mom anymore. I don't. I mean, some plants get really big, and then I end up fucking just cutting the clones and throwing the plants. But if you ain't got a big space, to keep them on, you don't have to have a big space. I mean, you want to see a quarter? Here, I'll show you. I'll show you a quarter gallon plant, quarter gallon plant. She's asleep, but and she needs water. Shit. And this plant's a couple months old. I mean, the whole stalling thing is possible, but it's never going to be. I don't know. If you're going to stall a plant, it shouldn't be a plant going into flower. Quarter gallon. Yeah, but sit it on the ground so that way I can. Maybe quarter gallon pot. That doesn't take up much room at all. And I can get a shit tons of clothes off of that. Wait, Carl could do a plant like that, get all the clothes he needs, and veg for only fucking 30 days or 20 days and get way less legs. But unfortunately, Carl's too good of a grower to listen to anybody else. Yeah. He would rather veg for fucking 70 days. And hey, that's what you want to do, then cool, do that. But don't make it out like you're only vegging a certain amount of time. And make it out that, oh, I can do so much better than everybody else. Guess what, bud? Nah, no, you can't. It's all scalable. I could do the same amount of weight if I had the same amount of space doing the same thing I'm doing now. I mean, I would just use more plants. And I wouldn't veg as long. I wouldn't be wasting the electricity vegging for fucking over 2 months or 2 months, whatever you want to call it. What up, upstate? And that plant that I just showed, it's sitting outside the tent, just getting light from the ambient light that comes out of the tent. It's not even sitting under a light. Yeah, exactly. Upstate. I mean, if you're not going to get the weight you need, and then you turn around and run out of weed, then you got to go buy weed anyway, you might as well just find a good plug and get good deals and fucking just buy weed. Because for me, I don't know how anybody else feels about it. I got to where I started growing good. And so my next step was to see how efficient I could do it. You know, can I do it with more plants, just smaller, quicker? You know, like the turnaround be more like I say, I've already done 4 harvests this year out of that one tent, and I got 61 ounces. I'm on my 5th harvest right now, and that'll be done this year. So I'll have 5 harvests in, and it'll 61 ounces plus whatever I harvest off this, which is going to probably be another 16. So you're looking at like 77 ounces out of a 2x4 in a year. One 2x4 with minimal amount of work, minimal amount of equipment. What is that? Just under 4 pounds? I mean, I think I could do a little bit better. Next year, there was some time that I had like some pretty long gaps that I wasn't flowering in there. So I think I could tighten that up. But my problem is the easier I make it on myself, the lazier I get. So I got to really watch that because it's real easy to just get lazy and be like, I got weed. I'm not really, I'll do it tomorrow. Blah, blah, like, and then pretty soon you're like, God damn it, I need to stop doing that because I'm just going to fuck myself up later. So you end up throwing plants over and starting over. Like, I fuck it. Throw them away and start over. Oh, yeah. Fuck LED. We could get you to where you're going. Like 3x3. Or I guess it's just under a 3x3. You can get a pound in there easy. You should really get a pound in there. I mean, I heard somebody, I don't remember who it was because I can't say the name, and I'm not trying to pick on the person, but the person was talking about like running 4x4 lights and hoping to get a pound. I think it was Tone. About only getting a pound. I think Tone. There's no reason why you can't get 2 pounds per minimum, 2 pounds per 4x4 light. It's really hard to do though when you're trying to and the plants fucking grow different. So now you got one plant that's like maybe say 10, 12 inches taller than all the rest. And now you got to keep that light up that high above that plant. And now all the other plants suffer because, I mean, we know the PPFD drops off fast. So if this one's at 12 inches, then these other plants are going to be at 24 inches right to the top of the canopy. So then you're not going to get no penetration into the canopy because you're already maxed out at your height for the right PPFD. I know nobody wants to have a lot of the same bud that is running on all the time, but that's why I say about littler tents. You can run a 4x4 light because a 4x4 tent, you're going to run one 4x4 light. Everything but better be similar, or you're going to have the light above way too high in some spots and too close on other spots. So if you do a 2x4, you can do a whole monocrop of one strain, go over to your other 2x4, do a monocrop of a whole nother strain, and then turn around and pull 2 pounds, but a pound of each of two different strains, or three or four, however many tents you want to set up. And you can stagger them. So start one at 30 days and then wait 30 days, start another, the other tent, and so you're staggering it. I mean, I get plenty that I need out of the 1 2x4. That's why I'm doing S1 project because I can use the other tent for that. And what up, Viking King? That's the thing too. You go in there, you still got multiple strains. One strain likes to eat more than the other, and you got three of those in there, and then you got four of these in there, and then five of those in there, and then pretty soon everything's wanting to eat different, everything's wanting to grow different, everything's wanting to be watered at a different time, everything. No way. I'm not gonna go in could you imagine a 2x4 tent having to mix three different batches of food or two batches of food, one just water and cow mat. Like, fuck that. I ain't doing all that. Now you're on a table, so when they do fucking have runoff, this runoff from all this food is going over to this plant that didn't need any food. Like, no, 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 no. Fucking cut some healthy clones, root them out, transplant them, throw them in flour. That's how fucking easy it is for me. You know, most problems come in veg. Most of your problems are going to come in veg. Kill veg. I mean, that was the best thing I could do. No, because it's too simple, right? If you could come over here, ask me a question, and I give you an answer, and it be the right answer, that's fucking boring. That means I don't have to go to 10 other shows and ask the same question and get people talking about what my problem is. Like, I mean, That's not entertaining. Like, I had thought about so many times. I've talked to a couple different people about doing a show, but like, what if people won't listen to me in chat? What the fuck am I going to do a show about? Like, they're just going to argue with you. People think it's got to be more complicated than what it is. Boring. That's why I got snakes. That's why I'm doing S1s. Just fucking growing weeds boring. Yeah, I don't listen because I don't need to listen. When someone starts pulling more than me out of a 2x4, then I might listen to that person for the time and everything it takes. And I might even get a little bit of fucking smaller bunches. I don't even give a fuck. If it's too small to fucking trim, I just throw it in a fucking deal and it goes in for other shit. But I mean, I don't even try to waste my time on that. I try to keep the 18-inch canopy, and at the end, if there's anything under that, it just goes in a fucking scrap bag. I'm a lazy gardener. I don't even consider myself really a gardener because I don't do anything. What? Throw some fucking medium in a fucking pot, throw a plant in it, water it, and then I mean, I'm not mixing fucking nutrients. I'm not tilling nothing. I'm not fucking pulling weeds. I'm not doing any of that shit. So I'm not really a farmer. I mean, Laura actually cracked me up. So I don't even mind giving the information out because nobody's gonna listen anyway. So I don't give a fuck. I mean, and I don't even care. You don't have to. That's the thing. You don't have to grow the way I am. It works for me in my space. Quick, it's efficient for me. If you want to grow a fucking one plant out and to fill one fucking tent, do that. Just grow a healthy plant. And if you're not growing a healthy plant, stop trying to teach everybody else how to grow an unhealthy plant because that's all you're doing. I'm still gonna say it. Carl's 2 pound plant does not look nothing like New York John's 2 pound plant. And I will believe New York John over him any day of the week. But I mean, if the guy's going to give you, if he's going to tell you that he's vegging for half the time that he's really vegging, he's probably only yielding half the harvest that he's telling you to. Not trying to shit on anybody, but I'm going to call it out like I see it. The reason why people scream plant count is because they can't grow that amount of healthy plants to begin with. They're lucky to get the few healthy plants that they got, if they're healthy. You know, like you don't see guys out here. There's not very many guys out here pulling fucking 24 to 50 fucking clones off a plant at a time that are healthy. It's not happening. I mean, I'm gonna fill up my fucking seed tent because I restarted it. I'm gonna fill that tent up and still have fucking close to 30 fucking clones left. They're just gonna go in the garbage. I mean, there's a couple people I want to send some to, but well, I mean, the correct number of plants in the veg is relevant to your fucking space. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. That's the thing, right? Like people scream about having plant count, blah blah blah, but they'll waste all this time trying to recover a plant. I mean, like, so plant count's a big deal, but the time is irrelevant. You know, like it's gonna take you 3 months to recover, then another month to fucking veg a little bit more, and then another 2 months to. I mean, you might as well buy weed. Because think of all those months, add up your electricity it took to grow those or recover those. You could have bought probably a pound a week. The answer is always more. I'd rather have more because I like to pick the best ones and throw out the rest. Yeah, most of that's always guessing. Because again, the grower isn't telling you, he's not being completely honest with you and telling you everything. I feel like a lot of times it's like, wait a minute, I know how to grow plants and something's missing out of your little story you're telling right now. Like there's something's not right. Something's missing. That's why I call Carl up because I'm looking at his plants and I'm going, there's no fucking way those are only 35 days of veg. I don't care what the fuck you say. I don't care what the fuck you're using. Because, I mean, most of us know that grow healthy plants. When you get a big fucking nice healthy plant in a solo cup and you put it in a bigger pot, that motherfucker just blows up because they're just ready to. That's why it's crucial to be, fucking in the right size pots at the right size. Because one, you can overwater if you're in too big of a pot. It's just so easy. Or underwater. If you don't fully saturate the fucking pot, you're gonna get dry spots and you're gonna fucking. I mean, yeah, crazy. I know. That's why the girl boss said that him and I are so alike. Because once I seen it, I mean, it was like whether I like the girl boss is like or not. I mean, the information's. I mean, it's solid. It's solid information to get you started. But most people that I talk to and try to help, they understand it like I do. Once you figure out the watering, it's game over. I mean, once you figure out the watering, like If eyes wide open, room to make a big mistake. Eyes wide shut. No, it's because I can't say it's guaranteed, but I can say that I really feel like people are trying to make friends and not really grow great plants. They're fucking, that's just what got him here, and that's what got him to have people around. Is because he grows, but he's not. Most people are trying to fucking make friends. Right? Once you realize that most of these people that on YouTube are not the same person in real life, you'll understand. You'll be like, oh yeah, fucking cucks. Well, one person told me one time, dude, you're only supposed to show on your video what you think the viewers are gonna want to see. Tell them what they want to hear. Don't tell them like, get the fuck out of here. That's like fake ass shit. Like, and that's not me. Will I ever have a big channel? I could give a fuck. If you gotta be fake as fuck to get a big channel, then I guess I will never have a big channel. Yeah, but the problem is the dead plants that equal views. They're people are telling them how they're doing so great, and I think a lot of that is just they don't know any better. I mean, Carl preaches environment. Again, my fucking grow tent is 90 to 91 degrees with like 46 to 53% humidity. Is that the right environment? Fuck, I don't know. The plants are happy. That's all that fucking matters. But I don't run fucking $1,800 in fucking power. I don't run fucking six, seven, $800 in power a month. I don't run, like that's ridiculous. And I know some people are like, yeah, but if it costs you $1,800 to get fucking 18 pounds, well, one, you got to stop for a second. You got to fucking realize because you're a grower. He's lying to you about veg time. He'll lie to you about harvest. So you got to assume if he's lying 50% about veg, he's got to be lying 50% about his harvest. Because I've seen the fucking plants hanging up drying. I don't see 2 pounds. Again, people, 2 to 3 pound wet is going to be a 6 to 9 pound plant, or two to 3 pound dry is going to be 6 to 9 pounds of a wet plant. Do any of those plants in there look like they're a 9 pound fucking plant? Like, honestly, you know how big a fucking wet 9 pound plant is? It's going to be bigger than a 4x4 light. Let's just put it that way. And I like Carl. Carl's all right. He's kind of arrogant. He thinks that fucking he's better than everybody else, and he fluffs about shit. I mean, listen to me. He says, Oh yeah, I'm sure he's lurking. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, unless you're 5'11". Yeah. Again, if you veg for 70 days and then you put a plant in a big pot and then you throw it under fucking your flower light and now it doubles in size, maybe a little more double in size because of the stretch, and then you put it in a room with a 6-foot ceiling, that's gonna look like a fucking monster plant. It's gonna look like a monster. But you got all the leg to go with it too because of the veg time. And then you're going to strip your plant, all the leaves off your plant because you got to think that you're going to get the penetration, not realizing you don't have a fucking clue how your light works. Because even if you strip the plant, this is what I was trying to explain to him. Even if you strip all the leaves off the plant, you put the light right at the fucking top where it's just touching the tallest bud, you're still only getting 24 foot of fucking usable PPFD to make good bud. So stripping your fucking leaves all off isn't going to get you penetration below that. Everything below that's just going to be fucking shit that I don't personally want to trim. And just like that, oh, I ask people, why is outdoor weed cheaper than fucking indoor weed? Oh, because the sun's free. You dumb motherfucker. If you could get the same amount for outdoor as you could get for indoor, you would. You wouldn't be making up an excuse of why it's fucking cheaper. I'm sorry, nothing against anybody that grows outside, but come on. It's cheaper because of all the factors you deal with outside. It's cheaper because fucking bugs and birds and fucking dust and dirt and fucking. I mean, I don't think the pharmaceutical company, if they ever got into growing weed, they would grow weed just straight in the ground outdoors. Because is that going to be the best medicine with all the factors you deal with outside? Yeah, no, no. And again, if you could get the same amount of money for outdoors as you do indoors, you wouldn't be saying, "Oh, it's because the sun's free." Like, get the fuck out of here. You would be fucking. You'd sell it for the same amount of money if you could. My opinion, people don't understand quality, and they don't care about quality. If the fucking weed's cheap, they'll buy it. They're getting stoned, they'll buy it. Like, you know, $30 an ounce. Hell yeah, I'm buying that shit. I'm gonna get high either way. Like, you just don't understand the quality though, and you don't understand that $30 fucking ounce of weed's probably the bottoms off of fucking last year's outdoors. Hey, if you're cool with that, like good, smoke that. You get outdoor fucking. Could you imagine smoking outdoor bottoms like the popcorn buds from outdoors? Like, I don't want that. Yeah, you'll smoke it really super fast. I mean, like, I learned that a long time ago. You might as well buy the fucking good shit because it's gonna last you longer in the long run. It's like fucking premium gas. I don't know why. I think it's because of the high octane or whatever. It just seems to last longer in your gas tank. You can go a little bit further on it. I mean, for a little bit more, you can go longer. Like, I don't know. I guess I should smoke some weed. I haven't smoked any weed yet today. Yeah, I'm ground flower. Yeah, they want the cheapest that's got the highest THC number. I mean, we can't always say bag appeal either anymore because there's a lot of dispensaries. You get to see what the bud looks like on a picture on a computer. Like they'll show you their little tablet. Here's our menu, and they'll show you this itty bitty little picture of this little bud, and you don't get to open the bag up and smell it or look at it or nothing. So the whole bag appeal thing's fucking out the window now. It's strictly a number thing. Cheapest, highest THC. That's what people go for. Not knowing that, again, higher THC number means less of something else. And you're going to smoke it in a day. One, you got an ounce. So you're like, oh, more weed you got. Normally, for most people that buy weed, they don't grow weed. The more you got, the more you end up smoking. So you're going to smoke it all up really fast. And then you're going to be like, damn, that went really fast. Oh, yeah, because it was fucking cheap. Boof. And you were weed rich for a minute. At least you thought you were. And you smoked it up. No, you can't. But that's what a lot of people used to do. They would go, ooh, look at that. Man, that thing's really crystally. Ooh, that smells good. Hell yeah, I want that. I mean, and ooh, the terps are fucking wow. The terps, they smell so terpy. Yeah. I could spray the little fucking terps in the bag before I close it. I mean, like, the fuck out of here. People don't understand what they're doing to this marketed weed, but they'll buy it cheap. And I mean, if that's all you can afford, that's all you can afford, I guess. I mean, I find it funny that most everybody wants a pair of Nikes. Do they settle for something less? Sure. But they want a pair of Nikes. I mean, like, come on. But that's not the way it works in the weed world. Like, they don't want the best weed, they want the cheapest. Right. Who killed the plant less? Yes. And everybody has better weed, right? Everybody has great weed. So everybody says. That's why it's an easy thing to say. Oh, yeah? Well, mine's quality, though. Mine's better than yours because it's quality. Like, really? You know I'm never going to fucking smoke it, so it's really easy to say that. Like Channel 2 showed 3 different strains. and it all looked the same. It all looked kind of yellowy brown. Like, well, they don't look the same. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They all look the same. Cool. If you're happy, I guess. If your people in the fucking hood are happy, I guess. I mean, and the only reason why I even bring that up is because he said it. I live in the hood. Everybody in my area, they all like my weed. Well, I know in the hood, a lot of people like fucking all kinds of drugs. That doesn't prove that your weed's any good. Yes, sir. I used to live in Washington State. I know all about that. I know all about that. But they won't tell you, though, at the end of fucking, you know what it is? At the end of this fucking season, we're just about time to harvest in Oregon and Washington. Yuck. That's all I can say. We just throw it in a fucking microwave. We'll nuke all the mold and bud rot off. Don't worry about it. We'll just fucking grind it up and and fucking separate the terps and separate everything from each other, and then add it all back to each other later. And we'll add a little extra terps too on top of it. Here you go, $5 a gram for dabs. There's a reason it's only $5 a gram. No, she ain't gonna smoke his weed. She knows she's trying to be nice. That was another thing I wanted to bring up about Channel 2. Why does he call everybody narcissistic, but he's the only one that's ever right? He's the only one that's going to tell you what you can do. He's the only one because he's the narcissistic one. He is. You can't ask a question. You can't make a comment. You can't do nothing in his chat because he has to control the whole situation. But he's going to tell you how everybody else around him is narcissistic. You know, normally when you say the problem is everybody else around you, the problem is you. And if you haven't figured that out by now at your age, you're never going to figure it out. You're over. You're done. You're not going to have friends. You're going to continue to grow shitty weed, and you're going to continue to be bitter and unhappy. Now, I give him all the props in the world because he's a single father and he raises his daughters. I can give him props for that. But this isn't about personal shit. This is about his fucking thoughts about how the plant works and the way he treats other people. You treat everybody like shit, block them all, kick them, call them narcissistic, call them racist, call them all these things all the time, and wonder why you're fucking so miserable. It's not everybody else, dude. It's you. If your weed was so great, you wouldn't be so bitter all the time. You'd be just like, yeah, oh well, like fucking. But you ask everybody questions, and then when they give you the answers, honest answers, you don't like it. You block them, you time them out, you fucking yell and scream at it. You like, all because it's not the answer you want to hear. You're narcissistic. You're the problem. It's not everybody else. Mrs. Woods, I only heard and seen it, like, I didn't even see her, but only heard her once talking and shit. She seemed really cool to me. But he even called her narcissistic. Why? Because she's trying to help you fucking get down and go down the right path because you're a jackass and might be fucking up. Somebody in your life says, hey, you're fucking up. What are you doing? That's a friend. That's not someone being narcissistic. And then you want to make it her fault. Like, yeah, I had to get a piece of shit truck because she wouldn't drive me around to look at. That's not her responsibility. That doesn't make her a bad person because she wasn't doing shit for you. That doesn't make her narcissistic because she's like, hey man, you could like walk in a little bit different direction here. You can kind of move in a different, and you're going to be doing better. That's not her telling you what to do. She's trying to be a friend and suggest things that she's noticing where you're fucking up. And that's what a true friend should do. Hey, you're fucking up. That doesn't make her narcissistic or be trying to control your life. You're a fucking moron. That's why you have no friends around you. You pushed them all away. Exactly. It really is crazy, bud, because like I've said this before, as a new grower, most people they don't even know what question to ask, really. Like they know the basics. What kind of soil should I use? What kind of nutrients should I use? How often should I water? And those three things right there that they're gonna ask, holy fuck, they're gonna get so many different answers that your head will spin. Because everybody's got their own opinions on whatever. Somebody asks me those three questions, I'm going to ask them straight up. Well, what's your end goal? How much do you need to produce to keep yourself supplied? How much? Like there's certain questions to ask because if the guy's like, oh, I don't know, I just going to grow some weed. Well, then it ain't really going to fucking really matter because all you can do is suggest, the basics and hope that he gets it. Because once he tells you, oh no, then he's going to go ask 50 other people the same question. So you got to make it up in your mind if you really want to waste your time. What fucking king? I don't know. Like I've said so many different times, I just frustrated with the YouTube thing because I killed plants for a long time, listening to people off of YouTube and doing the same shit is what I talk about now. I only talk about it because I went through it. I'm not just telling you this shit just because I'm just sitting back to be a dick or want to fucking say this shit to you. Like, I'm not gonna waste my time. I'll waste my time on telling you the experiences I went through, and that's just what I'm gonna tell you. Like trying to say, oh, the light's too hot and it's fucking heat stress and blah 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 blah. A healthy plant isn't gonna get heat stress. The motherfucker grows outside in fucking in Texas, in Arizona, in Afghanistan. He grows all these places that are super fucking hot outside. It isn't going to affect the plant unless the plant's not healthy. The only reason why the plant's not going to be healthy is because of whatever the fuck you think you're doing. And people can sit there. This is what I love. People will sit there and say, "Yeah, but it took you like 3 years to figure it out." You're right. I'm just as hard headed as you are, you dumb motherfucker. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I was just as hard headed as you. But now I'm winning. You can ask Crazy Buds, man. He's seen me. There's a few other Lorax. He's seen it. I think Flyby was coming in towards the end. You can go look. I've got the fuck you Grow Boss videos and shit still up on my channel. Go fuck yourself. Comparing his fucking uh, tester pin to other people's test. I mean, it's all there. Go fuck yourself. Grow Boss is all. I mean, it's all still up there. I left it up there on purpose. What up, creative? Yeah, Lorax knows. Crazy Buds knows. BK got to see some. Flyby seen some. I was insane. I was that same guy that everybody was laughing at because I was acting like Channel 2. That's the only reason why I go so hard on it. Because I did it. I was there. I fucking had the hard head. I was fucking, you guys are full of shit. You have no fucking clue. You don't even show plants. You probably don't even grow plants. Do you even smoke weed? You're fucking insane. Like, I don't overwater. I'm only watering once a day and it's only a little bit. Like, does any of that shit sound familiar? Because it does to me, because I was doing that. Well, and that's the thing, the problem is most people don't even know that they're not doing very good. That's the problem. And when you got 50 people telling you you are doing good because they're doing just as bad as you are, and they don't know any better, and then you got someone like me that comes over and says, "Fuck, dude, no way. That shit's not good at all." Is the fucking approach a little harsh? Yep. But like I've said before, if I kick you in the nuts, you're gonna remember it. You're gonna be thinking about it. You're gonna be thinking about what I said. You're gonna be, you might even go look at, do a little research on one of it. You might actually go, "Oh shit, I'm not gonna admit he was right, but god damn it." Because I don't give a fuck if you admit I'm right or wrong. I'm just gonna tell you the facts. I'm gonna tell you my experiences, and that's all I can do. What happens below happens above. If your fucking leaves are all burnt up at the top, I guarantee you your roots are all burned up down below. I can't play shit right now. I'm on my phone. I mean, it doesn't even show as a clickable link for me through StreamYard. Make a flyby. Well, even if he's not using piss anymore, the way he's got so many plants in there. You seen him today where he's like, oh shit, these plants over here, fuck, they need water really bad. Like he's got so much shit going on in there. He doesn't remember when he watered these ones versus when he watered those ones, which and vice versa. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on all the time. He's got so much shit going on. That's why I would suggest, and he'll never listen to me, fucking whatever. I would suggest just using the tents, figuring it out in the tents. And once you start figuring it out, you start growing healthy plants and getting the fucking weight, then expand it out. Like after that, the next step would be you need more space. But if you're constantly killing more plants, the last thing you need is more space. And if you can't figure out how to do it in soil, which soil is pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie. And in my opinion, you should learn to do in soil before you move on to anything else. Once you master fucking soil, then you're gonna understand the concept of how the plant grows. It's not just the soil. You're gonna understand the whole fucking plant. So when you move to another system, you're gonna understand nutrients. You're gonna understand lighting. You're gonna understand fucking water to air ratio. You're gonna understand fucking, all that shit. Yeah, I mean, 25 years and 200 plus strands, like fucking. Well, because soil is going to teach you the watering. A lot of people say, "Oh, I do cocoa because it's less forgiving and it's easier not to overwater." But you should learn that first. That is such a huge, crucial part of growing is learning the appropriate watering strategies, how to water. I mean, that is so important. Well, it's just to the point where you just, and I've known it for a while, but I fucking tried. It's like I thought maybe at some point he might fucking go, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna try this. But he won't. He just won't. And I laugh at him, especially lately when he's talking about, yeah, but I grow small plants. None of you guys are growing small plants. Hey, motherfucker, have you seen my plants? Have you seen my plants when I put them into fucking flower? They are smaller than yours, and they end up bigger than yours at the end. And I don't have no magic fairy dust or nothing. You use a peat medium. So do I. The medium you use has the same shit as what I got. Pretty much nothing. But because you're smarter than the plant, you think you know what you're doing as far as amending the soil and top dressing and fucking jerking off in the soil with a little bit of piss and fucking I don't know what else you throw in there. But that's not what it looked like. He's talking about going back to DWC. So you would think the first thing the guy would want to do is go over and talk to fucking New York John and get some tips and tricks, right? Fuck no, he's gonna shit all over New York John, telling New York John, you don't grow like me. I don't have the same light. I don't use the same nutrients. Blah blah blah. None of that fucking matters, dude. None of it matters. Nutrients are all nutrients. I don't give a fuck. Organic nutrients is the same as synthetics. The only difference is organic needs to break down. Synthetics are already broke down in a liquid form ready for the plant right now. If I got sick, I would want a medicine that's going to work right now. These guys, oh, I can definitely, I'll take a puff of fucking any weed and I'll tell you if it's organic or if it's synthetic. No, you won't. No, you won't. Especially if you're growing in ocean forest, because guess what, buddy? Ocean forest is a living soil. That's why you don't have to feed it for so long. It's got everything in it ready to go. But your dumbass will use that kind of soil and then turn around and try to amend it and feed it at the same time. And then blame it on heat stress. Or you'll blame it on fucking underwatering. Or you'll blame it on the strain. Or you'll blame it. No, you just don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't want to listen to anybody. You'd rather go Google it from some stranger than listen to the guys that are trying to help you that are doing good. Like these guys mix up their own fucking soil, but don't have a clue what's in it because they don't ever have it tested. Oh, great. You mixed it all up. You got enough nitrogen in there? Is there too much phosphorus in there? Is there enough CalMag in there? Is there enough this in there? Is there enough that? Is there enough? You have no fucking clue because you just threw a bunch of shit in a bucket and called it a day. And then I'm going to blame it on the lights. You're going to blame it on the strain. You're going to blame it on everything else. No, it was you. Whatever the fuck you thought you were going to do. If you want to fucking learn how to grow real fucking plants, message me. You don't have to do it the same way I am. If it's a different type of fucking way, I'll send you to the person that does it that way. But I'm not going to send you a person that grows like shit. Continuously grows like shit. I think everybody, whether you love them or hate them, whether you want to admit it or not, don't ever admit it. But secretly, you should be going over and watching the Grow Bosses fucking videos. Don't tell anybody though, because you know you shit all over the Grow Boss for so long. Don't tell anybody. Just go over there and watch it and let it soak in a little bit. You're gonna fucking figure it out. Because you ain't gonna listen to nobody else. Um, no, I don't really. I mean, unfortunately, nowadays I thought about it, but I mean, Happy and Hills are doing it. I don't need to do it. They know what the fuck they're doing about growing plants. You know what I mean? Like, I know this is beneath me, but it's I don't know. I just try to drill into people's heads. There are good growers out here, and these people that are fucking telling you you're doing good, they don't give a fuck if you do good. They're telling you you do good when you do bad because they want to make sure they're doing better than you. All they care about is making sure they do better than you. So if you never improve and they improve, they're always better than you. But they're going to tell you you're doing good. That's what I really originally wanted to do. I wanted to do a show. I mean, ADHD and I talked about doing a show. But for what? If I can't even have a conversation with somebody on a stream or in a chat, how the fuck do I get them to fucking understand it doing a live stream? You know what I mean? Like, and like I said, there's a couple good fucking people that are doing it already. Happy Hills. I mean, unfortunately, though, the good shows get fucking overshadowed by the fucking bad shows. You know, unfortunately. Mm. We just need to fucking pick who we want to represent the good growers and fucking rail their sub count up there. Because the only way these motherfuckers want to listen is if they think because you got a lot of subs that you know what you're talking about. But I have a feeling, even with a large sub count, they're not going to like what you have to say because it's not the answer they want to hear. Yeah, I mean, if that makes you warm and fuzzy at night, then I don't. I guess that's stop worrying about fucking always trying to be friends with everybody. You can be cool with people and not have to be friends with people. Like, get the fuck out of here. You know, the person that fucking comes straight to you and tell you you're doing good when you know you're not doing good, that's the last motherfucker you want as your friend. Oh, you're doing so good, Gromy. Like, that guy's fucking lying straight to your face. He don't want to be your friend. He just wants to make sure you never do better than he is. I would prefer to see better gardens than mine. I would prefer it because that means everybody's fucking winning. I give a fuck. You know, like if you got a healthy fucking plant, it's gonna grow fast. You're gonna get a lot of bud, and it's gonna be the best quality that strain can put out. You're gonna get the full expression. Grow it healthy. Then you can decide whether you like the weed or not. You can't burn your fucking plant up and then be like, yeah, I didn't really like that bud. The trichomes and the terpene production wasn't that great. Yeah, because it was never gonna be that great because you fucked it up. He wants to go camping. I need to make some more coffee. But that's why a lot of the good growers are just disappearing and they're not really doing shows and shit anymore. You might see them in chat here and there, but nobody wants to do a show and fucking, I don't know, and really waste their time trying to help somebody that's just going to argue with them. Or someone that's going to fucking waste your time for 2 hours in a fucking message and then turn around and go ask all the plant killers the same shit. Like, oh, now you're going to do what they say because that's the answer that you really wanted to hear. Like, okay, okay. You want the info? Pay the tuition. Because I'll give you little hints and I'll drop some shit. I'm not telling you everything. Fuck no, I'm not telling you everything. Not anymore. Not anymore. Right. Cool. You're like, cool. You got a decent, healthy plant. One plant filling a 5x5. But is it that great when you find out it took you 6-7 months to do that? And now you got a flower for another 2 months? So it took you 9 months? I mean, look at Hydro Hybrid. If you go back, his last fucking plants that he harvests under that 1,000-watt lights, go back and look at when he first started that series. It was over a year to do that one grow. 1 year. So even to say he gets 5-8 pounds of all that, it took you a year to do that. And yeah, for most people aren't even pulling that much weight in a year. But it's still, that isn't good. Not for that space and a 1,000-watt light. Not when I can use one 2x4 and get fucking 5 pounds in a year. Now multiply the space. I would have harvested way more weed than he did in that amount of time. But again, though, he's not into growing weed. He's into making content. You know, he's making content for Spider Farmer and fucking whoever else. So is that the guy you should listen to? Probably not. You shouldn't listen to the guy that's just pushing products. And I used to fucking watch Hydro Hybrid 10 years ago, fucking a lot. Everybody did. Girl Boss even said it. He said, watch. Once Scott figures it out, he's going to be out there yelling and screaming at everybody. I mean, it don't even fucking matter, you know, really. I don't really need to fucking say much, really. I mean, you just look at the fucking plans. I don't know. I mean, you gotta piss. And it's like, these people will tell you how great their bud is, but then their next video, they're teaching you how to bud wash. Like, what? Your bud's so great that you gotta bud wash it? Come on. Like, really, you guys? There's my boy right there. ADHD, what up, baby? What up, baby boy? Get the fuck out of here. Oh, I can't hardly watch most people's channels and shit anymore. You know, honestly, honest fucking. I start watching and they start talking about one little thing, and I'm just like, God, no. You know, I watch Channel 2 only because it's like a fucking train wreck. You know it's fixing to crash. And the guy's the engineer of the fucking train, and he's gonna tell you how it's everybody else's fault and everything else went wrong. when you know for a damn fact it was him driving the fucking train. Like, dude. And then they'll scream. You know what else they scream? They'll start saying, "Well, I don't have $5,000 worth of equipment to grow with," and blah blah. Blah. There's nobody else. Nobody else has spent $5,000 on their fucking little tent setup to fucking grow. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, there are people that spend that kind of money, and I think they're insane because you don't need to spend that much money to fucking grow weed. I mean, maybe if you got a huge facility area, like, but I mean, come on. I mean, I do all right, but I'm still a broke dick, and I'm not going to spend money on shit that you absolutely don't need. That's why I do not have any AC Infinity equipment. No Mars Hydro, no Spider Farmer, no fucking Vivo Sun, no fucking whatever these name brand companies are. I have none of it. All knockoff brand shit. Why? Because it all works. Because it all fucking works. Oh yeah, I save quite a bit not going to this country. Let's just say that pays my car payment, insurance, and a couple other bills. Like, I save more now that I was able. Now that I know what the fuck I'm doing, I save enough money that I can buy a fucking car. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, who said they don't want to do that? I don't want to learn to grow better weed, so I save enough money to I can buy a new car. I don't want to do that. Why would I ever want to do that? Nobody says I save enough money now I can go buy a house. Nobody says that. I mean, it's nuts. I mean, you planet killers are insane. PKR might bust balls over there, but realistically, you could go over there and any one of those guys is going to do what they can to try to help you grow. Are they going to kick you in the balls about it a little bit? Sure. Because again, if you get kicked in the balls a little bit, you're going to remember. You're not going to go, oh yeah, man, and go to a different stream and fucking start kicking off with everybody else. You probably still will, but you're going to remember the kick in the nuts. You're probably going to go over to the other stream and tell everybody else how the person kicked you in the nuts. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I wouldn't tell you that I'm going to the dispensary to buy weed because that's a shameful thing, right? To be growing weed and still have to go and buy weed. I'll go every now and again to the dispo and buy some dabs. You know, the wife likes dabs, so I'll go and I'll buy her dabs. But she's gotten to the point now. She's like, the weed does just as good as the fucking dabs from the dispensary. So she's like, fuck that. Why waste the money? I mean, like, I like fucking Tony G. Tony G is a good guy. There you go, Junior. I'll put the fucking banner up for you. I think he meant to say Stewie and he said stupid. Yeah, I fucking I handed the wife my fucking rolling tray. I think it was last night. And she's like, what the fuck you want me to do with this? It had all kinds of bud on it. And I'm like, ugh, I don't know. That shit don't look very good anymore. She's like, well, what do you want me to do? I'm like, just throw it away. She's like, get the fuck out of here. You're throwing away weed now? And it's like, yeah, just throw that fucking garbage away. Like, Tone G was always a girl boss guy, but Tone G was able to talk to people in ways that I just can't. I'm not the guy that would have been able to go to Girl Mandy's fucking girl facility and help her with clones and shit. I just couldn't do it. You know, there'd be too many other things I would see and just be like, oh my god, like fucking. Tone G's pretty patient guy to a point though, because that's you can only be patient to a certain point before you fucking lose your shit. But you want to learn some shit, Tone G will teach you some shit. Yeah, right. That was another thing fly by. That's oh yeah, people are like, hey, any other guys got like fucking all these jars of roaches? Like roaches, that's gross. You should get some roach spray for that. That's fucking disgusting. No, like roaches from your joints. Like no, you save roaches. Like once I get down to the fucking roach of the fucking joint, I put that fucker out in the ashtray right along with the fucking cigarettes. Bye bye. Like save roaches. The only thing you can save roaches for is if you're a really good artist and you can take the roach paper. I've seen guys take the roach papers and make really cool fucking pictures and shit out of it. But as far as the shit that's in it, it's garbage. You smoked it. Oh shit. Yeah, that's what I need. I need a fluffer challenge. Yeah, moon rocks. My other good buddy I talk to a lot, Mikey Bose. Mikey Bose is a fucking solid dude. But I'll tell you right now, that Mars Hydro about burned his fucking house down. So then there's that. $34 people. What up, motherfuckers? I gotta, let's see. Yeah, Mikey's the shit. Mikey's a good guy. I wouldn't have Super Bowl cherries if it wasn't for Mikey. I wouldn't. I mean, Mikey's done shit for me. But there's only a few people that like for that are the solids for me. Oh, I know Mikey Bose, dude. Mikey Bose watches all my shit. The thing is, Mikey Bo's been so fucking busy, all he has time to do is just listen. Because he's too busy doing other shit. He's got some good shit fucking that he's working on. I can't wait to see how it goes together. Papa, Papa, is that you? No, Mike's is studying to make more space. Because that's the only thing you can do. Once you become a good grower, you start looking around thinking, fuck, how can I grow more? Like, I want more. Or here's another one. Flyby will relate with this one too. I think a lot of people will that are good growers. You try to figure out how you can like build a shed or buy a shed or figure something out because the wife's always bitching about the smell of the weed. Sure, that sounds familiar. I don't want everything, all my clothes and everything to smell like weed all the time. What up, man? All the real OGs. All the real OGs, please stand up. I think about like a girl boss Mandy though. I wonder how she's doing. I really do. Because the last I seen, she was fucking. They were rocking it. But then I heard that through the grapevine somewhere also that she wasn't doing it anymore. They didn't have their facility anymore. But I don't know if that's true or not. But But I'm really glad to see Crazy Buds. I'm really glad to see you, buddy. Oh yeah, Girl Boss don't have the store anymore. Store's gone. You can still go to the website. You still got shit to buy on the website, but not much. I think he's got some pins left. He got some books. But he's been telling everybody, weed's getting to the point where there's no money in it. I mean, that's funny, Crazy Buds, because my shit got hacked too. All my Facebook and shit got my IG didn't and stuff, but my Facebook and shit did. I had to start a whole new Facebook and shit. You know, honestly, I would probably own name brand equipment if I actually seen people out there growing with the name brand equipment and they were doing really good. You know, but the problem is I see people growing out there with all kinds of different equipment that are doing good. So that must mean the equipment doesn't really matter, does it? Like, damn. Not for rec, Lorax. I'm good on the medical because, you know, I got my medical. See, that was the thing. I didn't vote yes so people could have stores, medical stores, and things like that. I voted yes so that way I could grow and for myself. I can give a fuck about the rest of the shit. Yeah, it's gonna start getting real cheap too. It's gonna get cheaper and cheaper. I mean, but still, I mean, it's gonna have to get really cheap for me not to have to grow because I'm already doing it so cheap. That's the thing. You go and you buy all this expensive equipment where it takes you 3, 4, 5, 6 fucking harvests to where you start to recuperate that money back. In my opinion, you went the wrong direction. You went backwards. You should always start fucking small and work your way up. Or you're just gonna end up selling your equipment for fucking half the price later on down the road. Five a light. Yeah, dabs are still expensive here. I mean, you can get $30 a gram, but it's the CRC. So it's the shit that wouldn't pass testing that they break down and fucking roll it around and then fucking make concentrates and then throw some terps to it and then they sell it for dirt cheap. And they break everything down individually and then they put it all back together and then add the fucking fake terps to it and then sell it for $30 a gram. I mean, How do I know that? Because smoke fucking rosin that somebody freshly pressed, right? Some good fucking rosin, and then smoke some of that shit, the dabs that you get from the dispensary. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of that, I think I need to take a dab right now. A good buddy of mine sent me some shit. And, whoa, I still got some because it's like, holy shit, I can't. One little hit. Yeah, I love getting the fucking purple keef. Yeah, little hits. Yeah. Oh man, I can only imagine the plant killers would have thought I was fucking nuts at the fucking flowering plants that I just threw away. It's not doing what I want. Throw it away. Start over. Gotta be able to let go. Time. Time is the most valuable thing in your fucking garden space. How does everybody say, time is money, but then when it comes to growing, they're like, well, what does the time have to do with anything? I wonder. Because time is money. You're paying fucking money out for electricity and shit. I mean, think of the value. If you can get a pound of weed in 75 days, or it takes you 4 months to get a pound, I mean, that 4 months plant that got you a pound, the value of it just went way fucking down. The guys are, I grow for quality. They get like a quarter pound of weed out of a 4x4 in 4 months. Like, uh, why not just get a 2x2 champ? I mean, like, if that's what you're gonna do. Ooh, yeah, it is. Floor space. It is the most. I mean, if you put a fan in there, you put a fucking dehu in there. Now you got a humidifier, and that's all fucking real estate taking up space that you could be growing bud. Like, why in the fuck are you? Uh, you put your fucking exhaust fan and your filter, all that at the top of your tent. So then You get to a point where you can't raise your light any bit further. That's real estate. Put your fucking exhaust fan on the outside of your tent. Run your fucking hose into the hole and call it a day. Yeah. You're better off going a little bit later than you are. I mean, that's where the cash croppers come in, like, oh, these plants are ready to go into flower, so whatever's in flower fucking has to come out, whether it's done or not. That's cash cropping. Whose birthday is it? Fuck. Cakes. Let's go camping. I mean, I guess, like everybody says, the nice thing to tell people is if you're happy with your grow and you're happy with what you're doing, then just keep doing that, grow me. It's pretty basic, huh? Crazy buds. It's pretty fucking basic. And again, plant count is veg time. I don't care if you only want to do 2 plants, 3 plants, fucking 20 plants. I mean, like, there's an appropriate amount of time to do those. Could you imagine going out to wash your car and you only washed half your car? Or you wash the whole thing and not the back? You would never do that. I mean, you go to the store to buy fucking tires and you only buy 3 tires. You don't just get the full set. Like, nobody does that. Well, people probably do that, but I mean, I don't know. All right, can I get a BLT? Hold the tomatoes and fucking lettuce and bacon. Nobody fucking does that. You need me to sing your happy birthday or something, fucker? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, fuck you, cakes. Happy birthday to you. Go fuck yourself. You feel better now? What are you, like 70? All right, I'll stop. You rang. Okay. Responding to message. Oh shit. You got one question for me? Is it gonna be what's a cola? Uh, um, I don't necessarily. I mean, a lot of airflow, and I open my tin up when the lights are on. It'll get about 65 when the lights are off, but as long as I keep the leaves moving, so they're not always there's like none of the leaves are really resting on top of each other for any amount of time to build the humidity between the two leaves to create water. And I even went and bought a bigger fan for underneath the canopy, so that way it blows so much under there that it just has to push its way up through the top. And then I got the fan blowing at the top that the leaves are fucking just moving. So, like, you don't always see it in videos because sometimes I have to turn the fans down or the fucking things are. But I just try to keep everything moving, all the leaves. Here, little Stewie. Little Stewie. Little Stewie. God dang it. One of my football players is out this week. How long have I been on? Oh, shit. You're going on 3 hours already. Shit, battery's dying. Jeez. Oh, shit. 28 people watching. I don't want to ditch you, but my phone's dying and shit. I gotta jump off here. I'm probably gonna go. Dr. T's live right now, so fucking everybody head over to Dr. T's. Yeah, head over to Dr. T's. I'm gonna jump out. I'll talk to y'all later. And happy birthday, fucking cakes. Have a good day and stay moist.